This video explains how to set up your printer to use ePrint services. ePrint is a free service that allows you to print documents and photos from any mobile or network-connected device to your HP ePrint-enabled printer. To use ePrint, your printer must be connected to the internet through a wired network connection. Because connecting your printer to a network is unique for each system configuration, we will not provide those instructions here. Before you can use ePrint, you must perform a firmware update to your printer from your computer to ensure that your printer has the most up-to-date functionality. Your printer must be installed on the computer you are going to use to update the printer's firmware. First, you must check the firmware currently installed on the printer to determine if it needs to be updated or not. To do this, you must print out a config report. From the printer's control panel, press the Setup menu icon, which looks like a wrench. Press the right arrow button until Reports is displayed, and then press OK again to open the Reports menu. Press the right arrow button again until Config Report is displayed, and then press OK again to print the config report. Next, go to HP's website to see if there is updated firmware for your printer. From your computer, open your preferred web browser. For this video, we are using Internet Explorer. In the browser's address bar, type www.hp.com and press Enter on your keyboard. Click Support and Drivers. Click the Drivers and Software tab. In the Enter a Product Name /number box, type LaserJet 1536DNF and press Enter. On the Operating System selection page, select your operating system and then click Next. Click the plus sign next to Firmware to view the latest firmware version available for your printer. Using the config report you printed out earlier, find the firmware date in the Product Info section. Compare this date to the version listed on HP's website software page. If the firmware date on the config report is the same as the firmware version on HP's website software page, your printer is up to date and you do not need to continue with the update. If the firmware date is different on the config report than the firmware version on the HP website software page, continue with this process. Now that you've determined that your printer's firmware version is different from what is listed as the latest version on HP's website support page, you must download the updated firmware and install it on your printer. From the HP website software page, click HP LaserJet Firmware Update Utility. When the Update Utility page loads, click Download. A window might appear asking you what to do with the file. Click Save. Browse to the location where you want to save the file and then click Save. Make sure you save the file somewhere easy to remember so you can install it later. To find the file you just downloaded, click the Open Folder button if you used Internet Explorer. If you used a different web browser, you will need to browse to the folder where you saved the firmware download file. Double-click the file to launch the HP Firmware Update utility. Windows 7 might ask you to confirm if you want to open the file. Click Yes to open the utility. From the Printer Selection drop-down menu, select HP LaserJet M1530MFP series. Click Send Firmware to transfer the updated firmware to the printer. Do not turn off your printer during the update, as doing this can damage the printer. When the update is completed, you will see a smiley face on the upgrade utility. Check the display screen on the printer's control panel to ensure that it is in a ready state and it is not still being programmed. You can now click Exit and continue to the next step. The next step is to enable web services. Web services must be enabled on your HP printer in order to use the ePrint service. From your computer, open the web browser of your choice again. Using the config report you printed earlier, look for the printer's IP address under the Product Settings section. Type the printer's IP address into the browser's address bar and then press Enter on your keyboard. This will launch the printer's Embedded Web Server, or EWS. From the EWS, click the HP Web Services tab. Review and accept the terms of use and then click the Enable button. Once Web Services has been enabled on the printer, a Web Services information sheet will be printed. It may take a couple of minutes for the Web Services information sheet to print. Save the sheet because it will be needed when you register for the ePrint service. The next step is to register at the HP ePrint Center. When you register at the HP ePrint Center, you can customize your ePrint settings, view and manage your ePrint print jobs, and add new print apps to your printer. From your computer, open the web browser of your choice once more. type www.hpeprintcenter.com and press Enter on your keyboard. In the upper right corner of the web page, click Sign In. A Sign In to ePrint Center page opens. Click Create an Account from the right side of the page. The Create an HP Web Services Account page opens. Enter your information in the text fields provided. In the screen name field, use a name of your choice. This name is a unique identifier for you on the HP ePrint Center web page. If a name is already registered by another user, you will be asked to choose a different screen name. Make sure to use a password that you can easily remember. After entering all information and you have agreed with the terms of the site, click Create Account. The Add a Printer to Your Account page opens. Using the Web Services information page you previously printed out, type your printer code listed on line 2 in the Enter Printer Code text box and click OK. A screen confirming that your printer has been added to HP's ePrint Center will appear. Click Next. At this point, you can enter a custom email address for your printer. You will first need to clear the text box before entering your custom email address. You will use this email address when you send print jobs to your printer using ePrint. Once you have entered a custom email address, click the Check button to verify the email address you entered is available for you to use. If the email address is currently in use by another ePrint user, you will be asked to enter a different email address. Once you have verified an email address that is available, click Save to add this email address to your account. The HP ePrint Settings page opens. Using the menu on the HP ePrint Settings page, you can customize your ePrint options including printer options and adjusting who can send print jobs to your printer. Once you have adjusted your desired settings, click Save. After clicking Save, you will return to the HP ePrint Center where you can now manage your ePrint settings, print jobs, and print apps. Your printer is now set up to use ePrint services.